It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Moriah Afolabi Brown. As always, I never do this alone. I have the ladies in the building. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Moriah.
BC in the building. How long were you gone for?
3 weeks. Just 3 weeks.
3 weeks holiday.
Yeah.
How was your trip?
It was fantastic. I had a good time. I toured the US. I went to New York because of this madam here. We stayed in Queens. Then I visited Manhattan, Brooklyn. Then went to North Carolina, Charlotte. Stayed a couple of days there and moved to Houston. My husband wanted us to go to Florida, but I'm like, come, you're reducing my shopping money. Shopping is more important to me. Let's stay in Houston and shop there, which we did. So I really had fun.
That's good.
You brought back Oimbo cold, Abi, please.
Yeah, rain beats me in New York. Yeah. They did not advise me to wear, what's this thermal wear underneath my jeans. So even with the boot and the jacket, the cold was penetrating the jeans. We were so cold. It was really cold.
Oh, good to have you back.
Thank you.
We missed you.
Miriam missed me, I believe. Mariah doesn't really miss somebody.
Oh, my Lord.
She gave me a warm hug this morning.
this is my reputation. I have to fix it.
But Miriam was, I know.
But not next year, because next year the focus is on baby.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Oh. Yeah, but that's
this baby matter as well.
Yeah, your focus should be on baby. I don't think people should have so many New Year resolutions that they will not set themselves up for failure. So pick the ones you can do. It is just 2 things to do.
And she has decided that she can do that one as well. Thank you very much.
But I want her to focus on the baby.
I have good news. My bestie just gave me a goddaughter this morning.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm so happy.
What are you going to reciprocate?
You have a bestie.
She's actually reciprocating. My daughter is her goddaughter, so she was reciprocating.
You have a bestie? You didn't tell us about this, your bestie.
Oh, I do. I have a bestie. She's
dear to your heart.
Really dear to me.
Do I have a bestie?
BC, if I'm not your bestie, we're going to fight.
Then I cannot go without a shout out to Wumi. She's our stylist and wardrobe consultant.
I'm
and this
my stuffs here.
few days, I mean, this whole week and last week, she's put me in some lovely dresses. I mean, I see the way Tokwe looks at me every day, like, I'm like, that should be mine.
Oh my God,
it's so. I like what I'm wearing, but I want this.
I can't wait to see myself, honestly. How you doing?
Hi, Tokwe.
Mariah, do you have gist? Let me give you gist. No, Mariah, seriously, you need to have gist because you look very Christmassy.
No, I need to be having gist, but don't worry. These days I have to be shutting my mouth because they are any small thing I say now, they'll say, so let me just keep quiet.
Yes, we will not let them shut us up.
Nigeria is not ready for people like me. Trust me, they are not ready for people like me.
It's totally, I connect because for once, Linda Ikeji is replying our comments because people just are hateful, you know, people are just negative. There's nothing she can do wrong for me. She just had a baby. She's just celebrating and you just come spew nonsense on her comment page and she's replying. They say, oh, so you can even reply. We must really have tortured you for you to reply. I'm like, you can't please human beings. It's really, really bad. Can we just live in peace? Can we just let love flow?
My own is don't reply. Just it's social media. We need to remember this is social media.
For you to say that.
Yes, when it's attacking your baby or your person.
It's easy for us because my own view, don't reply, don't even read the comments. I've never read these comments. Yes. But you see, other people will read and they'll start tagging you, start sending it to you. Yes. And people that are close to me that are not in television, so they don't know, they'll be reading the comments.
Do the Kanye style, get off social media for
please,
a bit.
this festive season, I just want to beg people, please. Borrow joy from Christmas. Borrow joy from Jesus. Let the joy of God fill you and let your comments be positive.
Amen. I like that.
All right now. For now, I'll be quiet. Maybe 2019, I'll start talking.
Oh my God.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're going to start very quickly with the punch. 76th birthday. Give me more time. Barry begs Nigerians now. Please, now, I need more time. Go back to Daura and rest. PDP tells president. I have to get the drama right, you know. Striking workers cuts electricity. Water to National Assembly complex. Those ones I hate, I just lament. Anyway, let's read a few other stories. Lagos residents lament hardship over bad roads. Herdsmen killings amidst international blames federal government for 3,641 deaths. Lunatic hoodlums take over Ikiti school. Parents, teachers panic. NUC shuts down 58 illegal varsities. Sex of Mark professor jailed for 2 years. My youth minister won't be more than 30 years old, says Atiku. Gunmen attack Kaduna village, kill 14 and injure 21. Access Diamond Banks to conclude merger mid-2019. Right, so which one are we going with first? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's this school in Iro.
Ado-Ekiti.
Yes, Irona Ado-Ekiti. That's actually where my mom comes from. Okay. So a lunatic took over the school, occupies like 10 classrooms in the school compound, chases the children around during classes and the teachers.
Looks like one video.
Yeah, aside from that, there are other hoodlums who come into the school, Indian hemp smokers. So they have like a cocoon in that school where they carry out all their activities. Section that area to them. Exactly. So people, parents are taking away their children from the school. The headmistress is saying that the school needs to be, because their gates, they don't have a gate. Their fence is broken. Yeah, their fence is broken. So they are appealing to the federal government, the state government, to do something about it, give them a gate, get security officials to...
Right. I don't think it needs to get to them. It's something they should have done.
Exactly.
Honestly.
And it's a public school.
But
so Mariah, national...
Assembly workers.
No, National Universities Commission.
Okay, NUC.
Shut down 58 universities.
Illegal?
Yes, 58 illegal universities. They do not have the licenses from the government. So they put out a whole list of these universities so that parents and guardians will be aware, because if you get degrees from these universities, it would not qualify you for NYSC or jobs or even further studies. And
so parliamentary, quick one. Parliamentary, this is a very interesting drama. The Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria have shut down, they've decided a four-day warning strike at the National Assembly, and they targeted it for when the budget will be presented. Okay. So they were supposed to just sit at home before, but they just changed their mind that, if you sit at home, they will not feel it. Let's go there, shut down power, shut down water. Then they did not open the gates. So everybody coming in had to have their driver open the gates to get into the place. He said tomorrow there will be nobody to carry this.
Who are these people again?
Parliamentary Staff Association, the Association of Parliamentary Workers. These are people that work in the National Assembly and in the House of Representatives.
Yeah, what do they do?
They have not been paid. They want money. They're the ones that run the entire place.
So are they like the cleaners? Yes, I need to understand.
Yes. They are under minimum wage, right?
The toilet wasn't working yesterday.
They know how to strike very well.
Yes.
Smart strike. You understand?
Where it hurts.
Let us remove their source.
They want
us.
We should answer them, though. We should really answer them.
Moving on now to the nation. Tinubu APC targets over 3 million votes in Lagos. Party is supreme, says Ambode. Sanwo-Olu Hamzat, PDP will fail. Diamond Bank's manager to go. AI's damning report angers Buhari and army. OAU sex for Mark Don, jailed for 6 years. NNPC Samsung disagree on variation cost. Fayemi Fayoshe trade words on the 18 billion naira refund. Okay, I wanted to read that story, I forgot. So there was the issue with people thinking that our current governor of Lagos State was not loyal to the party and he was probably sponsoring the other party, but that was the assumption. But I think there's been a meeting yesterday. Yeah,
there was a meeting at Acme Road, the APC Secretariat. We heard from the party leaders that everybody is good, we're all happy, but how do I address him? Sorry.
Asiwaju.
Tinubu said that there are 6 million voters in Lagos State, and the goal is not just to get at least 3 million voters within Lagos, and that should be the target of the party. Everything that needs to be done will be done to get it done. The governor spoke up, and with them, what all together.
Interesting that our deputy governor is actually holding Sanwo-Olu, not governor's hands. Did you see the mixing? These arrangements always mean something.
Are we reading
the deputy governor? Sanwo-Olu, then the governor. Shouldn't she be next to the governor?
It doesn't matter.
The governor is right in the middle. He's in the center, and all of them are
asking a question.
He's
not holding his deputy.
Oh, okay.
That's the point.
It doesn't matter. The governor is right in the center of that picture.
Moving on to the question. Travel ban. Mark Bankole Uzodimma, 36 others listed. So they can't travel again. Right.
For now.
Presidential panel submits names to immigration. Picture here of the managing director, editor-in-chief of The Sun and the richest woman in Africa, Mrs. Folorunso Lakija, Vice Chairman Farm for Oil, she was getting the Sun Humanitarian Service Award. Budget presentation, National Assembly demands adequate security from DSS and police. Sex for Marks, OAU professor gets 2 years jail term. My youth's minister will be less than 30 years, says Atiku. Paris Club refund, top federal government officials clash over consultant's fee. So Sex for Marks, who has that story?
So we remember his story. We've been following up. Professor Akindele has finally been sent off to serve 2 years
in prison.
In
jail.
jail.
Appeal.
Is that good or bad?
It's good.
2 years?
Yeah, it's good. It was actually supposed to be, I think there's a way they run it, either concurrently or consecutively. So it would have been 6 years based on the different counts, but since it's running concurrently, it would be 2 years.
You know,
so
like
he also,
we rarely even have this kind of conviction.
Yeah.
So this is a good move. We must applaud it.
Even though his rep, the lawyer representing him, was trying to get like an appeal, and then also they presented like a plea bargain where he changed his plea from not guilty to guilty, and she says, well, it's in the discretion of the courts to either give it to him or not, and based on that,
it does send a strong signal. But the thing is that, is it enough?
It's a quick addition, though. The reason we're able to effectively prosecute this case is because they had strong evidence. So if anybody is being abused or being assaulted or being harassed, get evidence, because that's the only way you can ensure that whoever is
and a lot of people were speaking out about it.
This major headline, travel ban, what is that? Anything?
There was nothing to
it. Yeah, there was nothing to it, because when I read it, I was expecting to see the list. There's a list that's been sent, and people are speculating that it could be this person, it could be this person.
But we know Mark Bankole and Uzodimma on the list.
No, they're not on the list. People are thinking that, well, because they have been...
That's what the headline is saying.
That's what they're saying. But the story,
I feel concerned. Let me just say, because I think papers shouldn't, our headlines shouldn't mislead people. Some people get to have their stories every time their story comes up. Article story always makes headline.
Listen, this one is saying Mark Bankole, Uzodimma, 36 others listed. Are you saying the article is saying that?
List.
There's
no
list.
They submitted a list.
Oh, gotcha. All right, moving on to the New Telegraph. Herders, farmers clashes, claims 3,641 lives in 3 years, says Amnesty International. President says, stop demoralizing our troops, I beg. Army replies, Amnesty International wants to destabilize Nigeria. Buhari to Nigerians, give me one more time, please. Jonathan says, don't blame me for president's failures. And 15 killed, 20 injured as gunmen open fire on wedding guests. Why Access Bank acquired Diamond Bank. So this Amnesty International report, the report was practically saying that the government had failed in protecting the citizens, pretty much. That your job is to protect lives and property and to investigate, to prosecute these people who are suspected, but we didn't hear anything.
People are already demoralized presidency.
They also mentioned that they had their field workers go into the field to get a report that 3,641 persons were killed between 2016 and 2018. Right. And 57% of that number was in 2018. And most of these, when they have the, where they come in to, destroy villages and all of that, most of the security officials are even aware beforehand that they are coming, and yet they don't do anything. Now, the government fired back, the military fired back, saying that Amnesty is trying to destabilize the country, and they've ordered the closure of their offices in Nigeria.
Okay.
So I don't think that should be the right action. Wrong. I think that when we admit we have a problem, we can solve the problem. Are people being killed by headsmen? Yes.
What are we doing
feel
about
that Nigerians are demoralized? Yes. Can we do more? Yes. So there's no need to be attacking the person that brings the investigation out.
Let's move on to Vanguard very quickly. Buhari Army joins forces against Amnesty International. Let's see which story we haven't taken here. 2019, Lagos State Ambode endorses Sanwo-Olu and Hamzat ticket. National Assembly workers begin strike, sealed entrance. Youth will make 40% of my government, says Atiku.
Can we talk about that?
Excuse me. FG sends 2.6 trillion on fuel imports in 9 months. And Nigerians should give me one more chance. What's that song? Give me one. There's a song.
I don't even have the voice to
chance.
See, we can't avoid
Let's Atiku, yeah.
Apparently, the PR company does a very good job. It's in every paper.
One more time.
Can you imagine? Mariah just had to sing
one more chance.
I've told myself that I'm going to forgive you of everything because you're pregnant.
So, okay, this pregnancy is just a very peculiar pregnancy. Okay, so what is Atiku saying?
Atiku, yes. every paper carried the fact that he said his youth minister would be less than 30 and that 40% of his appointments will be given to young people. And this is his campaign strategy. The point is, I think that we shouldn't just forget that when people say these things, hold them accountable if for any reason they get into power.
Yeah, so but he's a fantastic politician. I mean, this was because he met with the
has
youth.
Money
when
too.
he met with herders and cattle owners, he told them how he allegedly has more cattle than Buhari. So he's just a good politician. He knows what to say.
His money is working.
Less than 2 months. On a break. When we come back, we'll discuss this all-trending topic over the weekend. It disturbed every one of us, and it disturbed almost every young woman in this country. And we thought it was important that we have a conversation. The hashtag Market March Yaba. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So if you grew up in Lagos like I did, then you can totally relate to this Yaba story. So it happened that a group of women took it upon themselves to protest the normalized sexual harassment that occurs in markets everywhere in Nigeria, especially in the Yaba market. In response to the protest, the Yaba boys threw stones and pure water at the protestants, saying they got harassed due to what they are wearing. And what are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Now, as I was saying earlier, personally, I haven't experienced this, but when this story broke, everybody almost could relate. And it was important for us to bring our friend, our police officer, to come in the studio, and she'll be enlightening us on how to tackle this issue. But first, we'd like our Nigerians to express their own experiences so that she knows and understands that, listen, these things have happened. So I know Tokwa wanted to tell us, share a few of her experience with us.
So I feel really, really particularly concerned about this because we've taken it, we've sort of accepted this within our society, within the marketplace. It's not just Yaba. It happens in Lagos Island, wherever
Tell
you
us
have
what
a
happens,
cluster.
because people have no idea.
So whenever you walk through the market to shop, someone grabs your hand and it's a firm grip. You can't wiggle out of it. They say, come and buy from me. They pull you. I don't want to buy shoe. I don't want to buy jeans. And they pull you.
Keep pulling.
In cases they tap your, if you're voluptuous, they are tapping you. They are mistakenly brushing your breasts, and you know it isn't a mistake. Because when they grab you around that area, their hand will grab your breast.
Hey, Jesus.
And they do that consistently every time I have been to Yaba as a student. It happened that I stopped going to the market because I didn't want to be harassed like that. I didn't think I had a voice.
Dupe in the makeup room was saying that when she was in school, when she goes to the market, she actually has to walk around like this. No one touching.
You know she's
And
loaded.
Dupe is also very, like I said, if you're a woman, you have the breast and you have your bum, everybody, you attract them. And I must say clearly that there is no justification for that. Because the statement they were giving was that it was because of what they were wearing. I have been to the market.
Before you go far,
dressed.
I grew up in the East. And we're just very close to Onitsha. You know, cross the bridge and you go to Onitsha. We shop, do our monthly grocery buying from Onitsha. That main market, Opiweka, is the same thing. So when I moved to Lagos, I started shopping at Tejo for clothes. And it's the same thing. They keep tugging at you. Come and buy, come and buy. When you try to resist them, they start hurling insults at you. They call you all sorts of names. So I felt that, you know, we have police van. You see police van parked, especially in that Yaba. And those ones even laugh sometimes when they see that happening. So we've kind of accepted that it's the normal thing. That's why I'm really happy that this is happening. People are standing up to say,
let's
we
give
don't
a
want,
shout out to the
we
women
don't want this
who have
anymore.
actually come out to protest, because a lot of people have said that this is one of the few protests that actually make a lot of sense, because it was important for people to know this happened.
And it's not just a Lagos or East thing. Growing up too in Jos, and you would experience the same thing. They'll pull on you, they'll touch your breast. And then I've even had there's one that I just can never forget, the teenager in secondary school. And I had 3 boys in the market just grabbed my chest, one after the other. I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. I just stood. But the thing I also noticed that people around me noticed, but it was like nobody did anything. Do you know, I still remember it now, what I was wearing. I was wearing a white turtleneck with a pair of jeans. I still remember. but how those boys
as skinny
look.
as you are.
Yes, and they grabbed you. It was even so painful and emotionally, painful.
Nima shared the
And
same
then
experience.
Nima had a story she shared with us yesterday. She was also grabbed at the market. She said she was so upset she tried to run after him. And the lady said to her, how much did he touch you? And you're following him. He might, lead you somewhere else and then rape you. So just let you go. So apart from these people doing these things to us, everyone around just accepts it. No one steps in.
So these Yaba boys, I mean, once they grab you and bring you into their stores, now it's not like they're raping you or anything like that. It's just that they've intruded your privacy by just touching you all over. But what if you now don't buy?
For me, no, Morayo, you see, for me, it's beyond just the, harassment, but I think it's the objectification of women.
Yes.
Because when they see you, they see the shape. They just see boobs and bum, and they just want to touch it. It's not, they don't realize that you're a human being with emotions, and they just focus on that object of their sexual desire. I can't go far, but I can touch. And we've permitted it for too long. So I am looking forward to what the police would say about this and how to address this, but I'm happy we're speaking concerning this.
Let me take this call from Abdul. Abdul, are you there? Thanks for calling from Niger State.
On the streets of Nigeria and other places.
Go ahead, you're live.
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, you see, first, it is a different thing for a woman to have a curve, and it is another thing for the male person to be able to control their hormones. For the fact that a female is having a curve, or maybe she's dressed somehow, that doesn't give you a right as a man to kind of walk up to her and sexually harass her. It is a bad thing to do. And secondly, there is this thing kind of trendy right now. People kind of prioritize about a female's boobs, like if she has a fat bum, she has a breast and all that. People prioritize that, and you see the kind of
right. Thank you very much, Abdul. Yes.
I'm more concerned about the solution going forward. Let it not be that we just had, that match and it was successful, everybody's talking about it, and then after a while, we sweep it under the carpet. So I'm looking forward to what the government will do about it, Lagos State government. I'm looking forward to what the Yaba Market Association will do about it.
We have as people, this Dolapo Badmus here with us. She'll be enlightening us on exactly what the authorities can do. Because one of the major concerns is not so much of the act, is that everybody, even the officers in view, are not doing anything about it.
Yes, and then there's a misconception. We think it's the uneducated, the people in the market that do these things. I remember being part of this march that happened a few months ago. Young girls, teenagers, we held the placard saying no to no means no. Yeah, no means no. How I dress is not consent and things like that. And we had about 2-3 people saying, and look at the way you're dressed and you're talking about it. This was Saturday morning. Everybody was dressed in workout outfits. And people were still looking at you in your workout outfit and saying, and these are, to me, educated people. And there was even someone in that group with us who said he understands what that person is saying. That is the way we're dressed. And how else do you dress yourself? Right. That, even if you wear a hijab, it wouldn't mean anything.
Boys self-control. Can we begin to teach them to respect a woman, see a woman dressed well, whether sexy or not, and look away?
Totally, that's certainly something that we need to do. But I think in addressing this Yaba incident is something that is very, very, very important at this time. We're going to break. When we come back, we'll have Dolapo Badmus join us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have with us the PRO Zone 2 Command covering Lagos and Ogun State, CSP Dolapo Badmus. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
We're going to go straight to the point because this is obviously an issue. There are a few issues of the protest, how it was conducted, and issue of the fact that this happens a lot of times, and there are police assigned within Yaba and other markets, and they don't seem to do anything. They normalize it. It's like for them it's normal. What's the big deal? So what can the police do? What's the police doing to help sensitize those who have been assigned to these markets to further protect young ladies who go out to the market to purchase things?
Well, good morning, and good morning to the viewers at home. Let me start by saying it's disturbing the way and manner, you know, all of us, I would say, have come to trivialize this issue in particular. While I came in, I could hear someone, I think she's the one saying, she's been through that before, you know, these boys pressing hard, holding you, you know, harassing you, all in the name of come to buy. And most of the boys that even do that, they don't even have a shop. And so they take pleasure in doing that. And I will ask her, did she report to any police station?
She didn't know she was
because she trivialized it also. And because she felt that nothing has happened, life continues, and the boys feel. And let me tell you, 99.9% of people that go through this don't even care to report to the police. And then when they feel, oh, it's normal, and then life goes on.
When you see the police
so we are all
by doing nothing, you just assume that.
You are not shouting, you are not crying, you are not calling help.
Right.
And then the policeman cannot go and say, follow everyone.
Right.
You know, the policemen stationed there are waiting, you know, for like a grievous offense, like a serious complaint. And perhaps we are all viewing it as if it's normal. And we've all been viewing it as if it's normal until some group of people decide to say, enough is enough.
But you won't blame them, because I've had people go to the police to report issues that has to do with even domestic abuse, and they will say, what happened? Once there's no bruises, madam, go and sort, is your boyfriend, go and sort out yourself. So the police on their own trivialize those kind of issues. Okay,
like I would say, when people want to give me information, I want a particular reference. But like you're saying, it's just an essay, which is not necessarily, is not admissible in court. But let me tell you, maybe you're having a feeling that that is what happens. I can tell you categorically in Lagos State that there are 11 divisions created for the purpose of attending to domestic and sexual violence response. Okay, so I am also a focal point in that. And let's come off issue of going to station. I said we all trivialize this issue until we have some group of people now coming up to go and say, oh, enough is enough, because maybe they've been embarrassed one way or the other. But while coming on board, did they even carry the policemen along? Did they even say we are having this protest? Did they even inform the police? They didn't. And in essence, they got harassed again. But all that being equal, let's now talk about, is it criminal or not?
Yes.
And I could hear, you know, Tokwe mentioning that they press boobs, they press, you know, butts, and most of them go out just to deprive, you know, pleasure. And then they touch your boob, they touch your butt, and most times, it's women that complain of all this. I don't think it happens to men.
No, it doesn't.
They don't. So it's just to suit their own purpose. And the criminal code, Nigerian criminal code, refers to that as indecent assault.
Okay.
Because when you touch a person, let me just get it for you. Indecent assault is unwanted touching of a person by another person. An offender is liable to maximum of 10 years imprisonment.
Fantastic.
Wow. So we need to go and do investigative journalism and capture those that are doing this.
Just report, that's what she's saying.
But before we, because we were discussing before we went on air, and in actual fact, these people don't even see what they're doing as wrong. Yes. You know, young boys are brought into the market. All they see is hold customer and say, auntie, come and buy, auntie, come and buy. And then the people end up buying. So they feel like for them, they are just, that's all they know. Yeah. So I think we should first try to use mediation and education.
Let me now come in from that angle. You know, when this occurred, like I told you, we have department within the police that, you know, liaise with Ministry of Justice in Lagos State. And the department of, we call the department with Ministry of Justice as Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team. So we interface. And when this happened, we went into discussion on how to come about this. Some came up with the fact that we should go to every market and raid all the boys. And then some, you know, I told them that, okay, what do we want to achieve is that this should stop. Most of them, like Tope is saying, don't even know they are committing crime. So if we now go out all of a sudden and we started raiding them, then they don't know. Then we decide we're going to sensitize.
CSP, I want you to talk to a young girl who plans to go to the market today. As she's going now, what should she look out for? And should she take pictures or should she record the conversation? What exactly should she do to be able to report to ensure that this person gets prosecuted?
Okay, we're going to use two-edged sword to battle this. The first one is that for that young girl that is going to the market today and listening to us right now, when you get into market and someone is touching you, tell the person you are committing a crime, stop. And if the person insists, the young girl should locate the nearest police station and report, and the police will get them. But before, like someone was saying that we should go and raid the market, in the meeting we decided that don't let us do this first. Why are we not going? Let's do sensitization. Good. So we're going to do, the police in conjunction with the domestic and sexual violence response team have a plan of doing sensitization of all the market leaders. Okay. You understand, like a training section, and tell them, because even as I'm talking, I'm sure most of you don't even know is an offense. And even in Lagos State, this administration of criminal justice in Lagos State, chapter 251 and 256 also spoke about this. And sexual assault, we don't even call it harassment. It's sexual assault, because by the time you are pressing someone, you're pressing the private part against their will, then you have committed an offense. Yes, so we let them know so that they can also in turn sensitize. And by the time we finish the sensitization, then the police will come in. Okay,
CSP, I admire you greatly. I mean, when you speak, and it just gives us hope, that the police is listening. But the honest truth is that a lot of Nigerians do not trust the police and do not believe that the police is actually doing the job. We have people like you, we feel like you just talk the talk, really. Because this is not something that just started today. This is many years ongoing, over and over and over again. And there are eyewitnesses who said that there were policemen standing there who saw that while they were doing this protest, while they were carrying out this protest, they saw how they were attacked by the men, and the police officers standing there were just looking and laughing. I understand that you need to engage the police when you need to go and protest, but when a policeman is standing right there and he's watching people being attacked and assaulted, shouldn't the police
well, I've not seen the video. Do you understand that indicated that the policemen were standing, folding their hands and looking? But do you know, we have come to realize that even if a woman wants to deliver and she's not delivering properly, the police has committed wrong. Because the policeman must tell the doctor that that lady must be delivered appropriately, or you will be held responsible. We are used to that. We are used to having blame for everything that has happened or refused to happen. But what we are saying in essence is that if these people have actually, notified the police, the local police within that jurisdiction, they will have accompanied them and ensure that they do their protest. But they didn't inform the police. You understand? And that was what led to the harassment.
But let me ask you one more.
But the issue of the fact that they have been harassed and the police did not come up, we need to see that it happened.
Let's play the devil's advocate. We all accept, we've all trivialized issue, it's been normal, nobody complains, everybody has moved on. But thank God to these women and some men who have protested. Now, I'd like you to tell us, going forward, what are you going to do as you're sensitizing the Yaba boys? Can we further equip the police within that neighborhood to understand the gravity of this crime so they can prevent it going forward?
Okay, like I told you, we've all agreed with the Ministry of Justice, Lagos State. We're just saying Yaba boys. Like, people have been calling me and saying, it's not even in Yaba alone. You go to Balogun Market, virtually every market, where there business activities, these are being done. It's only that the gravity, the percentage of the gravity is different from each other. So I told you that we are partnering, the Nigerian police is partnering with the Lagos State Ministry of Justice, first to sensitize. That is very paramount. And then when we sensitize, the police also will be sensitized. And then when we have all these sensitization, then actions will be taken. And I know by the time, we are through with the sensitization, there should be a drop in the occurrence.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll take phone calls and tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have Toby Loba from the RCCG camp. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning,
This is the RCCG. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
All right, I want us to please address this issue sensitively. I feel both the police, the government cannot fully handle this issue. I'm saying this, I'm speaking from experience. Okay. Now, do you know that some girls in school, right from secondary school, they had to adopt a kind of concept of becoming a cult just to protect themselves. Because one or two of them might have had one kind of experience of harassment, molestation. So they call themselves together and say, we'll defend you. Because they are not really getting justice one way or the other. Or maybe it's slow. I feel we should just get our ladies, our girls informed.
Okay.
For instance, we can get some feminine sensitive materials with them whenever they go out.
Okay. Like
the
spray.
Approach it. I want to touch. When a cool girl will give me the beating of my life, she has that experience of martial arts, one way or the other. She can defend herself.
All right, thank you very much, Sylvia. I think we get the points. Let me take a few tweets.
Okay, yes. Here says, wrong, Mrs. Badmos. Protesters who failed to notify the police are still entitled to police protection if they are attacked or harassed. Chinenye Valerie says, did Ma just say we should report to the police? Laughs out loud. Even the policemen who escorted them for the parade were laughing at them when the men were harassing them at Yaba. What did they do? Because this is Nigeria and we fight for ourselves.
Ibrahim Mariam says the most annoying thing about this act is that the market women feel it is normal and at times support them as well. The police, indecent touching, is it applicable to guys as well? Can I report a female or a guy for touching me also? So this Mayowa, who is a man.
Okay, so Pat Tayo says, please, this sensitization should be carried out at bus parks as well. I witnessed a young lady being harassed at Jibowu in front of the bus park a few years ago, Oteta bus stop, and the boys were calling Onitsha at the park. It used to be major headaches too, so bus parks. Olawale says, except it's different. The policeman will also want to touch the thing the Yaba boys are touching. And the policeman would, that you're asking this question, police is not anybody's friend though. So really,
okay, let me quickly take the ones that I could take. Let me start with the men also asking that, can a man be indecently assaulted? Yes, because indecent assault means any person, they didn't specialize or they didn't specify whether male or female. The gender is not, they said any person who, touches another person without the person's consent. So if anyone touches your private part, and you are not, I think both genders have, have the private part. So it's not, to women alone. And then for the other one that said, can they report or they should take laws into their hand or they should defend? I don't know how you want to defend yourself, but in whichever way you want to, don't resort to self-help. Because at the end of the day, you might become, a criminal for taking to self-help.
Let me quickly take this call from Yakub. Morning, Yakub. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning, Morayo.
Morning.
And then good morning to your guests and the other co-hosts in the studio. Morayo, I just want to let you know that it is not only women that they normally harass, even including women. I could remember a day that I went to Mandala in Lagos Island. Do you know that in the process of this dragging me to buy one shoe and the other, they tore my shirt that very particular day. I was so hungry. In fact, I fought the guy. I even told the guy he must bought another cloth for me. See, Morayo, the only thing is that on earth, if there is a law in the land or in Lagos State as case may be, that will prohibit these people for dragging everybody to come and buy something.
Drag me.
And then indecency issue that we are talking about here, I don't know as of today, maybe the police officer can be able to tell me this. Maybe if there's a law in the land that prohibits everybody to wear whatever she
Thank you very much, Jacob. So that's what CSP Dolako Badmus has tried to make us understand. So they've not taken anything at all. Take the fact that there is a law that protects us. So and what you need to do is report. So once they tear your clothes like just because of that, find the nearest police station and report. Now, if they now didn't do anything, that's where we now involve you, right? Then you can help us ensure that we get justice.
Like the case that Jacob is talking about, that's an issue of assault. You know, you've been assaulted, someone for no reason just tore your shirt. Right. And in Lagos, according to the Administration of Criminal Justice, Chapter 21, Section 168, we say that anyone who touches or apply any force of any kind to the person of another without his or her consent is liable to an imprisonment of at least 1 year. That's a demeanor. So you can actually take that up if you really want. But how many of us want to take that up? We just say we leave it to God. we forget about it. And this, you know, criminal act.
We need a few scapegoats, though.
Yes, let me ask. Shouldn't we get to a point where the police is proactive and not reactive?
Yeah.
The job of the police is to protect lives and property. Is it until when people did a protest that they knew that they would come together and do something about it? It's been going on for years. We have police vans stationed in most of those markets on the island in Yaba. I've seen them myself watching. And they don't even know that they are supposed to support.
Well, let me just cite an example for you. You know, the issue of being proactive involves everyone. It's not about police alone. You are also guilty. You have had this platform for long. How many times have you talked about that? How many times have you sensitized? You understand? I give kudos to these women that now suddenly open us up to this. Do you understand what I'm saying? And for the fact that we have not come to the TV to come and tell you that we have done this, does not mean that there is no case like this that have been reported to the police and have been dealt with. But because you've not heard about it, does not mean that it has not happened. So when you're talking about proactive, you know, movement or actions, we are all involved. You understand? Sensitization, I think, majorly is part of what I am a police officer that believes in, sensitizing people before you say, okay, you want to take them up. Although I don't understand or I don't know, it's not an excuse before the law. Whether you know or not, the law will take its course. But let's all be proactive.
When we're going to the market, since we now know that it's illegal, I think people, ladies or men out there, should go in pairs, and one person should hold the camera. Wisdom is profitable to direct. We need to catch people red-handed doing this thing so that you can take a picture and prove that this actually took place, because we must act. We must be proactive in dealing with the situation going forward.
This is an issue that concerns a lot of us. So I'll put it to you that as you are sensitizing, let us see what you're doing. Post it online. Let us know that this is being done. Conversations you're having with the Yaba boys or the Balogun boys. Let us know that these things are happening, because that's the only way we can be convinced.
Yeah, we will continue to do all of that. We've been doing it. And I tell you that even when I posted that I'm going to appear on TVC this morning, I could see some people saying, is that the next thing out of all the problems we have in Nigeria? What's this about this? But because we have, you know, crime is, you know, is categorized. We have violent crime and we have non-violent crime. So to some people, what police should be dealing with is the violent crime. Stop talking about, because they don't know that even the violent crime starts from the non-violent one. So we will continue to do our best, you know, to sensitize people and also inform people about whatever we do. In fact, this is a very special case that we're going to concentrate on. By the time we finish the sensitization, anyone who still commits this crime, we will show to the whole world the actions we've taken.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
that.
And once again, we thank the protesters. I mean, they brought this to light. Well done to them. Great job. And whatever you can do, we will definitely support them the best we can to continue to push it. And we know that she has given us her word, and they'll let us know as that's ongoing. All right, to be part of our Christmas special edition coming up next week, Tuesday, Please call 081-361-83378 because we have Christmas gifts, so we need you to know how many people are coming so we can plan for those people. It's just 30 seats, not a lot of seats, so just come early. Santa is coming around, so he's going to come.
Has he arrived?
He's on his way.
I've not seen Santa.
In fact, did you see one post, Santa Tajudin? He was dancing. Anyway, so don't forget to come. It will be fun to have everybody out. So Thursday is our last show, right, for this week? And so on Christmas Day. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.